This is your daily market review for Wednesday, July 10th, 2024. Let's go. Hey everyone, this is my channel to help investors and traders develop a probability-based mindset to succeed. Also try and keep friends informed of what's going on in the markets and the economy, and also a little real estate content as well. This is Dan Max at eXp Realty, aka the Trading Agent. This is your daily market review for Wednesday, July 10th, 2024. Interesting week. The last 2 days before today, kind of chopping around, nothing really going on, and then boom, all of a sudden it looked like the rumors were that the CPI, PPI are going to come in weaker than expected, even though China's numbers came in stronger than expected. But neither here nor there, the reaction to what potentially is coming has got people squeezing, chasing, all sorts of fun action. So if you've been bullish, you've taken some of the bullish trades we posted, looking good. If you've been bearish, the bearish ones have not been bad. They just haven't gone anywhere. It's been kind of a sticky situation. Again, it's hard to get, a rising tide lifts all boats, right? And so even the names that should be going down, in my opinion, even so, some of those are holding up better. And then some other names, that's just part of the game. If you're always right, you think you're always going to be right. It's like playing poker, getting pocket aces. It's like playing blackjack, getting a 9-2 and doubling down and thinking you're always going to hit 21. It's a probability-based game, as I love to talk about, and that's the truth. And so going into tomorrow, you got to be careful. So we'll see what happens. Again, if you hedge some positions, it makes sense. If you rode some positions, just, don't be surprised by any big moves tomorrow. Because again, the VIX is consolidating. So if you're new to the channel, check out the Discord room, link in the description below. I appreciate all the love, support, generous donations. You guys are great. I, again, appreciate everyone posting, staying involved. And in the summer, it's usually a little slower. We talk about leaders lead, laggards lag, and market can chop. But it's interesting to see market breakout. IWM, we'll see if it does. I don't know. There's a lot of interesting things going. So just be careful out there, okay? If you want to chat, use the Calendly link below. Love to take some time, see how I can help you, see what you're interested in, see what you got going on. Maybe you have some real estate interest, buying, selling, maybe investing, first time ever. Again, do yourself a favor. Click on the link below. Hit me up on Calendly. Also follow on Twitter, posting all of our trades there. Check out the website, tradingagent.com. Again, tons of resources here, whether it's real estate, reviews, education series. Speaking of education series, it's also on the YouTube. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I appreciate you guys. And so going into tomorrow, we know, nothing really, anything. I know CPI, the expectations are, again, expected to be above, higher than last month. So again, inflation's sticky, right? We know that there's not expected to be a rate cut until potentially September. We'll go right through there real quick. And again, I like to refresh it. Nothing coming up in July. September's the first time it's in the 70% range, which again, anything over 60% typically happens. The Feds are not out there to disappoint the markets and freak them out. I tell that to people all the time. They're like, oh, what if they do this? What are they? They're not like that. They will basically not coordinate it, but they'll show their hand ahead of time, way ahead of time, because they're not trying to get out there and confuse the market, because again, they don't want to create volatility intentionally. Okay, so Bitcoin, as we talked about, and I'm getting a little scared here for another little dead cat bounce. I think we're going to come back down to this 50,000 level. I could be wrong, but again, I like Bitcoin. I like all this kind of stuff in time when the Feds get to that pivot point, and tomorrow could change the fact. So anyway, oil chopping around again. We'd like oil long term, and natural gas, but it has to be on the pullback. For some reason, I feel like natural gas is stuck, but maybe it has been stuck. Yeah, there we go. I was like, man, it's definitely lower than this. And we talked about this like head and shoulders top, pulling back. Again, if you got in near the lows, here you go. We talked about it popping and expecting retest at some point. Now, does it have to go back to the very bottom? It's a good question. But either way, if you're prepared mentally, this is, again, you trade around positions. Again, some of the commodity stuff is acting more technical. Some other stuff is running crazy. Hey, that's the nature of the market, right? Not every name is easy. Dollar, the best turd in the toilet, holding up. Again, it needs to get back over the 20-day. TLT, as we talked about, again, I'm surprised that bonds dropped the previous week or got, sold. All right, they're getting bought back up because the economic data is crappier. It's getting crappier fast. And again, I think people will buy bonds. Vixen, here you go. Starting to kind of wake up and hedge. Are you really surprised people were buying some VIX protection going into tomorrow? No, look at the VIVIX, right? Are you surprised, right? So look at it, keep an eye on it. Just, all right, is what it is. SPY, as we've talked about, like baby dojis. Okay. Well, tomorrow's action, I mean, do not be surprised by a gap, obviously. It's just curious to see what happens when the gap opens, I mean, down or up. So just be thoughtful of that. Which way does the gap go? I don't know. QQQ, man, look at that, 500 plus, right? Congrats. I mean, if you're bullish, I mean, again, that's the thing. I've been wrong on some things, right on some things. But overall, again, market indexes, I'm impressed. The Qs have just like left the building, right? IWM at the downtrend, got to go, right? Got to go. DIA, which has been lagging, close at the highs. Okay. There it goes, right? There it goes. Let's see what happens. Gold, I mean, we talked about gold having seasonality bullish in July. As I said, near term, it's really tough to trust. It looks like a big choppy channel. Silver, again, I like silver long term. Buy the physical. Yeah, just all these names look kind of stuck. GDX. Now, this is the thing. We talked about the miners holding up pretty well, right? Okay. Miners typically lead. So if the miners continue higher, you should expect metals to follow. GDXJ had a nice update today. I mean, look at that. Back at the highs, probably going to fill those gaps. Worth a watch. AEM, right? Here you go. New highs. But like names that have been leading up, I'm telling you, those are the ones that you got to watch. AG's been lagging. Newmont, now this is the thing, right? Did it break out today? I mean, technically it did. Gapped up. Now, if you're a bull on Newmont, you just got to stay up here. I mean, you technically need to really get over this 45.82. You guys can see it. Again, I mean, not technically like for sure like today, but you would know if we climb that. If we get over that, that to me is like the let it run kind of thing. Pass, here you go, chopping around, but finally getting back. I mean, again, as the silver name, it looks way better than AG. So again, going forward, there's names watching. Again, we talked about like WPN. Like, I mean, again, just throwing the stronger ones. That one's look better, right? Right? Just keep that on. AEM, Wheaton Precious Metals, they look way better than Newmont. Even though Newmont you want to see happen, confirm. Taiwan Semi got some upgrades and stuff today, back near the highs. Keep an eye on it, question mark. Micron, we talked about holding this 131 plus area, or 130 plus area, seems to be doing it 50-day. AMD, as we talked about, it was showing strength. We said, don't be surprised if we get up into this 180s. You got it. Interesting wick, though. I mean, there's a gap at 191. So I'd be watching out for that. If you're still bullish, that's the 190, 191 is your next upside target. NVIDIA, yeah, popped up again. Another like upgrade in price. I mean, every day it's like they're not really that interested in it. Again, I like the NVDS at these levels in the 30s. We talked about that. As again, I pay off today. I don't know. Again, remember, if you go look at the chart of NVIDIA, it looks very much similar to the Tulip Bottle, Cisco, all these names. Bitcoin, when it went nuts, they all follow with bigger moves down because, again, it's an all-in effect. You have to be careful of that. SMCI, again, we talked about this big trading range. I mean, I'd love to waiting for the extremes. Intel filled its gap. We talked about once it got over the 50-day, it started to build. Now, today's an inside day after a kind of a selling, like pressure off day, or not pressure off, like the pressure and, everyone all in. And man, if you're bullish, high and tight is bullish. SMH, shmeh. Here you go. Back at the highs. Keep an eye on it. Again, Adobe, we talked about identifying the short up here. I'd like a retest. I'd like a retest in this market. Apple, just wrong on this one. It just, again, I am impressed that people are just chasing this. But hey, you know what? That's the thing. The market can be more irrational than you are solvent. So that's why you have stops. If you stopped out, you're okay. That's the nature of the game. Just don't go back always. Always, 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 always. Amazon, 50-50, right? Just not 50-50. Chopping at the 200 level looks like a 50-50. Like you can get above it, go. 50-50, get below the 8-day, 10-day. I mean, if it gives you, sorry, I'm just like looking in my mind. Like it gives you like a really good like binary trade here. Go with. So Meta holding up pretty well after it pulled back. Chopping is, again, high and tight is okay. High and tight is okay if you're a bull. It's just like low and tight. It's like Bitcoin reverse. Low and stuck to the bottom is still bearish, right? It can still go lower. We talked about CRM that the high was in. Congrats. 267 down to the 20-day. 20 points pretty quick. Now it bounces there. Not surprised. Good job. I mean, again, every trade is different. That's why you got to flip through the charts. Guggenheim holding up near the highs. Microsoft, man, up 666 today. Weird. Is that a left-right combo? I mean, it looked like it, but I don't know. The devil's work. NASDAQ, NDAQ, chopping around. It's been in this kind of consolidation phase. Again, I personally think easily, like the index will get crushed in time. It's been lagging for years for a reason. Tech is not, like, people will go to the commodity indexes. You'll see how it works out. Go watch the old videos. It just is what it is. Just go study the past, right? In a tech war, who wins? It's the freaking inputs, y'all. It is the inputs. MicroStrategy holding the 1200 level. Again, if Bitcoin holds, it holds. Netflix, this was interesting. I said, watch the 20-day today. Okay, got it. Held it. So far, so good. Just watch it. It could chop around. Roadblocks, and then it could fail. It could be a nice lift. Again, here, I'll go back to just so I was thinking, get my thought out there. If you hold the 20-day and you chop here, it could provide a nice pop, right? If it breaks it, you got to be careful. Roadblocks, this one had been holding up pretty good up into the next range. Not surprised it got tired. Pan W, here again, high and tight. It seems to be just, look at this. Every time it pulls back, it's getting bought during the day. I mean, you could be day trading. This, again, some people are like, oh, you don't want to day trade. I'm like, some of these stocks are perfect for day trading. Especially some of the homies in the Discord room, I mean, you're crushing it. They're like, all right, this is an extreme part of the trade or the range, trading it. Boom. And they make 20, 30 points. I mean, it's, depending on the stock name, 10 points, whatever. Tesla, here we go. We talked about this morning, like watching the upside. I mean, again, I said this many days ago. I'm like, if you go, you're probably going to get up into the 270. Congrats. I mean, this is where the easy money is. Now it could get a little squirrely, could get choppy. That's what you should expect. Insight, again, I like this company. Talked about, look at any dip. I mean, they came in strong. But if you zoom out, you can see it's a big choppy range. I mean, again, trying to accumulate down here. Think about like the market makers accumulating at lows. McDonald's breaks the lows, said, be careful, we need follow through. Did not follow through. Held, we said like that wick made me nervous. Again, watch the recap yesterday. If you're questioning it, check it out. Why? Because you want to break with conviction, not like this half-half. Because then what happens is you bounce right back sometimes. Oh, DKNG, here you go. Uh-oh. Same kind of thing maybe here. Same kind of exactly like McDonald's. Tries to take out the range lows, right? Wick right back. I mean, again, technically oversold going into the chop mode. That's pretty normal. We'll see what happens. Airbnb Bizzle, right? This one's been chopping around between the 100-day and that's like 50, 20-day, like, I don't know, 150 area. I mean, we talk about this. Just some of these names, just watching. Costco, I mean, been on fire. Right? Feels like it could be toppy. Just keep an eye on it. Starbucks, again, here's a short that would just been easier than hell. How about the 50-day? I think Jay Solstice was screaming about it, like watching it. Like, we talked about this because this thing is, I mean, again, there's tons of competition in coffee, first of all. It's overpriced. The economy, that's like one of the first things to get cut because I do think we're in a shadow recession. Gaps down. We talked about the bounce. Oversold. Boom, right back at the lows. Now you can trade it and you have a reference point. FedEx, I know some people are shorting this at the highs. It makes sense to me. We broke the 8 and 10-day. Now it's just kind of consolidating. Man, it looks like a little head and shoulders intraday if you go pop a squat and look at that. Caterpillar. This one's been chopping around here on the 20-day. Nucor. I mean, we talked about the material names. Don't short them. But back near the lows, just watch it. X, again, held 35, 36. I don't know. VALE, again, I like a lot. I love all these names long term, but they're just in big consolidation patterns. Arrow, chopping around, holding me, big choppy pattern. Keep an eye on it. Again, I like junior copper. CCJ, I mean, this was up pretty nicely today. We talked about Goldman. I hate when Goldman upgrades the highs. Nice little pop today. Again, longer term, it's tough to know for sure, but I like it, but I'm not going to buy it up here. CF, ag names, we talked about them getting throttled, playing games down here at the lows. Again, they might be oversold near term for some bounces. It's interesting. Some volume down here, oversold back at the range lows. I mean, this one gets real binary, actually. You could trade this one. I mean, this thing can move 5 to 10 points pretty quickly. Like, watch this 48 area. I mean, you could easily go right back up. So, trade alert, trade alert, trade alert. AA Aeron, again, we like aluminum. But we talked about what? Being patient. Again, it's all these names. Like, I don't really want to short them. I just want to see oversold conditions. I think they can bounce. XLF going into bank earnings on Friday. Man, finally, again, during the day, it kept getting sold, but it didn't take out yesterday's highs. It's kind of filled this gap here at 42. Just keep an eye on it. JP Morgan, again, if they're not buying back their stock, why is anyone else? Why would anyone else? Why would anyone? I mean, that's what you have to ask yourself. Morgan Stanley back at the highs. Keep an eye on it. It could be breaking out or it could be a trap. Bank of America, again, this one's been holding up. Can't say anything wrong about it. Goldman Sachs, again, as we talked about, if you got your Marcus account, you're looking good. Not going out of business anytime soon. Carry coming back to the famous 50 area. Famous 50 area, worth a watch, right? XBI said, watch this one. If it can get over this 94, 95, is it a breakout? Now, again, going into the CPI and all this stuff, I mean, this is the thing. Just watch it. If it holds up high and tight, yeah, it could go back higher. If it fails, it's a great reference. Again, you're looking for reference points, because what do reference points allow? For easy binary decisions. Go long, go short, do nothing. I guess that's not binary, but you know what I mean? That's sometimes what you can do. Here you go, XHB. I thought, watching is like, all right, if interest rate's doing this, and okay. I mean, I see real estate every day. I get the constant, never-ending text that reduce price. Okay, well, consolidating, worth a watch. Solar, as we talked about, oversold, due for a bounce. You're back at the range lows. Congrats. Again, these are things like you can take some of these trash names. They're oversold. They're probably due to bounce. We've talked about it. Sedge. I mean, I said at 24, 25, like take the profits. I mean, this thing, there's a huge short interest. So I do not be surprised. Again, not that I say I like this for the long term, but when we talked about shorting 300s and now you're at 29, when you're at 25, 26, we said, look at the big volume. This is why volume price analysis matters. Like that's capitulation at the lows. Like if this chart was upside down, that was the high, you'd be going, damn, that's probably the top. Where you go. Now it's the bottom. Has some oomph in it. Has some bounce in it. ENPH, again, especially when the whole indexes all look like they're to bounce, right? They all look oversold, ready to bounce. Right? Just keep that in mind. I mean, you got to love it. That's some Jesse Livermore stuff from Reminiscent Stock Trader. Come on, man. I'm telling you guys. Leave a comment below. If you've read the book, you know what the hell I'm talking about. It's powerful stuff. Right? HYG, again, I wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole. Oil holding up. Again, I mean, NATO getting a little spicy. See what happens here. Natural gas, again, I don't like the UNG. I would rather short the KOLD on bounces. Talked about this. Ding, something's ready. We talked about this holding up, like wanting it to go. Because, again, if you took your profits down here, man, I really want to see the 60s. XOP, again, I like oil and gas names. When Trump is talking, back at range lows, these could be oversold, due for a bounce. CVE, same kind of thing. Worth a watch, longer term on pullbacks. Valero, again, these gasoline names started breaking. Now you're back at support near term. I mean, MPC looks a little worse. Valero looks better, right? Holding the 200-day, but got to be careful. We talked about ExxonMobil. Looked like it was it had a nice pop. Lower high. Keep in mind, Occidental, again, I think Buffett's just trading this thing like crazy. Selling calls, selling puts, selling calls, selling puts. While everyone else is just waiting, he's accumulating big time, in my opinion. When it's ready, it'll be ready. EQT, again, we like this one long term. It's another one of the big choppy range. A lot of these names, Flex LNG, the same kind of thing. Just a big choppy range, waiting for it to play out in time. So if you got any questions, please reach out. Always here to help. Join the Discord room. Use the Calendly link. Hit me up if you got any real estate questions. Again, because if you're looking to invest or you got to sell, you got to buy, again, you have to have a strategy. Do not just throw it on the MLS and pray. And if you want to talk about the new regulations, I got you there too. All right, folks, I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. Have a great evening. Talk to you soon.